Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancho and we are live today, Tuesday, August 27th, 8:30 p.m. Time for another live stream, another draft. Let us begin. All right, we're here on Underdog. I think the delay is like closer to 15 seconds today. I might have messed up the settings, but just keep that in mind when you want to join me, if you do want to draft with me. I'm going to be joining a Best Ball Mania today. This tournament is 90% full. There's still about 65,000 spots left, and I only have about 10 of these entries so far. So I'm going to be doing one more tonight. Only going to do one stream tonight, only one team. But if you want to join me, you can hit that button right now. I'm close to like 10-15 seconds, so I'm going to give it a few more seconds, like 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm hopping in right now. Oh no, my location. My fucking locate. God dang it. Apologies if you really wanted to join me. That sucks. God damn it. It didn't happen the other day. Happened tonight, and it's been a problem. I feel like the last week it's been like 5 out of the last 7 times I've tried to do it. Really apologize if you wanted to join me. Okay, now I've got it up on my phone. I'm going to hit the button. No, you hit the button right now. And now I'll wait 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we'll be able to time it properly now. But I'm in. There's 8 spots. There's 8 spots left. Still 8. So if you want to grab one, you can. 6 more spots. But howdy, Jonathan. Good to see you. How's it going? 4 spots. So we have time. We have time. If you want to join, still 4 spots. Now down to 2. We'll be off and running pretty shortly. But now it's full. Now it is full. Anyways. What pick do I have? Pick 11. Beautiful. Great selection. I'm going to put something away. I'll be right back, and we'll be up and running. All right. Let's see what we can do tonight on the stream, and hopefully it works out. Dev, I do not see you in this draft, but no worries, man. Yeah, there's not too many more opportunities to do it. This thing will probably fill by the end of the weekend. I think by the time we hit Sunday, this thing will probably be full. I'm only going to do one more of these. I wanted to do a total of 12. This will be my 11th. And we get pick 11 on number 11. So maybe that's a good sign. Maybe it's a bad spot to be in, but we'll see what happens. I do get a lot of these late picks. At least I have some experience with it where I kind of know how to approach it, but I'd much rather have a top 6 pick. That's for sure. But Dev says, nah, my last will be Saturday late at night. The softest rooms possible. I mean, in a way, it's soft because there might be more casual people. There might be a lot of people who do a ton of these that have maxed it out already. But some of the prices are cheaper. Like if you really want to draft Ayuk, that's a good time to be doing it. Sometimes you get way better prices earlier in the offseason. Like if you want to draft Rashee Rice in this tournament, it's not wise to be doing it right now. You wanted to be drafting Rashee a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, when his price was in the late 7th round. Sometimes he fell to the 8th. Now you got to take him in the 4th, and that is not that exciting. But here we are. And I think I'll just take Puka. I think so. Not really getting unique with it, but I do still think he's the best player available. I'll just do Puka. We'll go Puka. Keep it simple. But Jonathan asking, how's the auction nomination order determined in the subscriber league? I feel like it's just randomized, already set. I do not totally know. I have not updated it. It's kind of just, it might be the order of like how the teams were added when we all signed up, when I invited you, who claimed what spot. But I'll look into it. Maybe I'll randomize it again. We'll see. Dev saying AJ Dillon is dead. A dead pick now. I'm glad I have not drafted AJ Dillon like almost at all. I'm literally at like maybe 1.5% AJ Dillon. I was taking Lloyd for a little while, but I was late to the party there. And then once he got hurt, I was like, I'm not drafting either of them. I'll just take Josh Jacobs. Should I just go Taylor here? Maybe I should. I do trust Taylor. Could go another route, though. I'm going to take A-Chain. I know it's weird, but he normally goes on the other side of the board. And fuck it. Let's be weird. I feel like I already have some teams with Puka and Taylor quite often. And A-Chain has some massive upside. Angus was talking up A-Chain today. And there is a world where he does finish as a top 5 guy. He has that like 40-point potential any given week. So fuck it. Let's get him on this end of the board here. And we're just trying to be a little unique with it. Maybe Mostert goes down. But even if he doesn't, A-Chain is a 2nd-round pick. And he rarely gets paired up with Puka. But PJ Nasty, feel like this is the first time I've seen your handle, so welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. But Amon-Ra or Chase this season, I think if you're drafting in best ball, I would still go Chase. I think there's higher upside, but in season long, you cannot go wrong with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do have St. Brown ranked above Jamar in my season long rankings. He's just so safe, so secure. Every single week, you know exactly what you're getting. He only had one game last year where he put up less than 14 half PPR points. It was either 90 plus yards and a touchdown, if not one or the other, and 14 points is a lock, if not like 20-25. I would go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think it's a safer pick. You are never going to regret it. While Jamar could finish first, and Amon-Ra probably can't do that, there's a world where Jamar Chase finishes outside the top like 8, maybe outside the top 10 even. He can be a little more volatile, whereas Amon-Ra is like locked in to the top 6. I would go Amon-Ra for safety reasons. But Dev says Kyren might fall in this room. Let's see. People don't like that he's going to return punts. We'll see. That was a weird news today. Kyren returning punts. Like maybe if he returned like kickoffs, it would be a bit more normal. But punts is weird. That feels like a very random decision. But maybe he's really good at it. You know, we'll see. But Angus sold you on A-Chain a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But more so, I took him here because he always goes on the other side of the board. And I want to shake it up in that regard. That's the main reason. But yes, with that conversation earlier today with Angus, I'm a little more tempted to take A-Chain. I'm really like under weight on A-Chain. I have A-Chain at like 4%, and I feel like that could really, really burn me. I was very hesitant to draft him for a long time. And today, we're a little more confident to do that. Anyways, PJ Nasty also asking, should I trade Adams for Nico Collins? I would. I prefer Nico Collins over Devontae Adams. I'm not high on Adams this year. I'd much rather invest in the Texans offense than the Raiders. Like, unless Adams gets traded and plays with Aaron Rodgers again, or like another really good quarterback, I don't think Adams returns on investment this season. I just don't. We'll see. But Kanye West fan 69 asking Kupp or Waddle. There was some recent injury news with Waddle today, I believe. I'm pretty sure that happened. I have them very close, same tier. I think the higher floor would be Kupp. The higher ceiling is Waddle just because of the potential that Tyreek Hill goes down. But I'd rather invest in Stafford. I think straight up, I think if push came to shove, I'd probably just take Kupp. But with the potential that Tyreek could go down, like you could have a top 5 receiver with Waddle. Obviously, if Puka went down, you'd have a top 5 receiver as well with Kupp. It's really back to back. I don't think you can really go wrong, but I'd probably go Waddle just because of there's less injury risk. Like Kupp has missed a lot of games as of the last 2 seasons, but if you wanted to go with Kupp over Waddle, I wouldn't blame you at all. It's really your preference, but my rankings do technically have Waddle 2 spots above Cooper Kupp. Just barely, but it's really close. You can go with either one, whichever one you prefer. But PJ Nasty, you're welcome. Kanye West fan asking Rice or Diggs. I prefer Diggs. I still prefer Stephon Diggs. And he gets taken here right before me. I could go Derrick Henry if I really wanted to, but I'm not dying to do it. Would have preferred to go Tank Dell, but he gets sniped, so shit. Maybe I take him. He's falling a little bit. But I do kind of get put in a hole at receiver. Fuck it. We'll take the value. We'll take Derrick Henry. This team also has a running back, but he's got 2 picks. I doubt he's going to pass on Henry twice. I'll just take Derrick Henry because I'm not in love with Michael Pittman at this value. There's guys going later I have ranked higher. And again, we're kind of just increasing our unique approach with A-Chain on this side of the board and Henry falling like 5-6 picks. ADP of 29, taking him pick 35. I don't have a lot of Henry because I don't take him unless he falls this late, but it is what it is. So far, we've got Puka, A-Chain, and Henry on this Best Ball Mania roster. Let's see what happens, but my highest ranked would be T. Higgins. I'm going to go with T. Higgins. Need some receiver depth. Tempting to go with the tight end, but if I pass on receiver here, I miss out on this tier. So just going to take T. Higgins, and we'll see what happens. Jonathan saying, I'm going to nominate A-Chain first and clear those war chests. You know what's crazy? A-Chain is so undervalued on ESPN. Like his price point is like $22 in the auction, and that feels like insanely cheap. Running back 17 on an ADP in ESPN is like ludicrously inexpensive. And that price is not going to hold. There's no chance it holds. It's going to be interesting to see if he goes for over $40, but I can already guarantee you A-Chain is going for at least 30 in the subscriber auction. Kanye West fan asking, just wondering why people like Diggs. Convince me. I mean, Honestly, I prefer Tank Dell. I'm more of a Tank Dell guy in the round 3. Diggs is my lowest ranked Houston Texans receiver, but I do have him in the top 30 at 27. I have Rashee at number 30. CJ Stroud is an MVP candidate this season, and investing in his offense is a good decision. There's a lot of volume up for grabs, and last season he was elite before they made the offensive coordinator change. There's a world where he's elite again. I still prefer him behind Tank Dell, but if you really want a more in-depth analysis, go ahead and check out my video I posted earlier today, the podcast with Angus, a best friend of mine who is higher on Diggs than I am, and I think laid out more of a optimistic outlook on Stephon Diggs. But great offense, little injury concern with Nico and Tank Dell, and he's on a 1-year rental. He wants to get paid next season. He's probably going to be on his best behavior and probably try to make the case for a big contract next offseason with likely a new team. But wow, interesting. Team 2 going with 3 running backs out the gate. CMC, Kyren Williams, Saquon Barkley, and then Trey McBride. They are punting receiver. We'll see how it works out for him. But kind of makes me a little happy I have this good running back core in A-Chain and Henry to start it off. Because now I'm not like dying for running back as we move through this draft. And there's going to be a more urgency at that position. So there's probably going to be better values as we move through the rounds. Because a lot of teams don't have a running back yet. Most only have one. And it's not going to be super critical for me as we keep going. But interesting to see James Cook above Josh Jacobs. I feel like with the A.J. Dillon news, Jacobs should be rising. But Team 1 is doing what they want. They go James Cook, Calvin Ridley. And wow, Team 2 continues to punt receiver. They go Mahomes unstacked. Very interesting. But Jonathan asking, curious on my opinion of the Titans backfield. I think if one of them gets injured, then you have a very decent player. If that doesn't happen, if they both stay healthy, you're never going to have a confident player in your starting lineup with either of them. They both catch a lot of passes, so it's not clear who is the PPR guy that has that extra boost. There's going to be very few touchdowns in Tennessee as well. Not an offense I'm confident in. And Pollard looked bad last season, but they paid him a lot. So it's a new coaching staff. I'm not sure if they're going to feed Tyjae Spears like crazy. I prefer Spears at cost, but I have them back to back outside my top 30 rankings. I'd rather draft Brian Robinson in the same range of the draft. I'd rather target Jerome Ford or Rico Dowdle, who go later. I'm not dying to draft a Titans running back. They're not players that I'm that interested in this season. I kind of want to avoid all Tennessee Titans, if I'm being honest. But the fact that there's 2 equally valuable guys playing beside each other, I think they just eat into each other's volume too much to feel good about starting either one each week, and that's why I'm out. If it was just one, I would be happy to take one, but that's not the case. So I'm out. I wish Tyjae had that job to himself. I wish that was the situation in Tennessee, but it is not. Kanye West fan asking, Mahomes is a 3-time Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback, and Rice is a second-year breakout. Who's Mahomes' second option? And Kelsey is old. True, but Mahomes is also the type of guy that can spread it around to like 8 different receivers over the course of a game. There's also a scenario where Rashee does possibly get suspended, albeit it's a very slim chance. It's getting smaller and smaller by the day. It's very low at this point, but there is a world where Rashee does get suspended again at the end of the season. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it is possible in the back of my mind. Would have loved to take Andrews there, but does not fall to me. And you know what? We're going to force the issue at running back in this lobby, and I'm going to take Kenneth Walker before the team at 12 snipes me. We're just going to go all in on running back for this team. And now I'm guaranteed, I'm only drafting 5. We're going to try to get some good values at receiver as we move through the board, but I'll take Walker here at pick 59. So running back is going to be pushed up the rest of the way, and I can literally like wait a long time until I take another one. But Kyle Pitts goes at the turn. We'll see who comes back around, but every receiver I have in like the same tier here, so it's not that big of a difference. And while it might help me to grab two, we're just forcing the issue and we're grabbing a receiver. But I think I'm going to take Rome Odunze or Brian Thomas, one of the two. Shooting for upside. Keenan, I don't like here. Jaden Reed and too big of a committee. Chris Godwin, more of a floor play. And I need that spike week potential. I'm going to go Rome because I do love me Mr. Odunze. I'll take Rome Odunze here. Achane and Walker. Watch me take AR and Daniels. Yeah, maybe it's just being in the wake of that conversation. But yeah, we're taking all of Angus's guys today, at least at running back with Achane and Walker. Not Henry, but yeah, we're mixing it up a little bit. But the main reason I took Walker there, if I passed on Henry, I probably would have targeted him. But knowing that running back was highly coveted in this draft by a select number of teams, like other than the team with Bijan, Breece, and Jahmyr Gibbs, I guess the team with Taylor is kind of in contention. But there's a lot of teams in this league that need to hit running back like crazy moving forward. So I really think that's going to be pushed up, and I think it makes it more likely I get a good receiver falling back around to me at pick 83 and through the remainder of this draft. That is my big motivating factor for taking Kenneth Walker there. I didn't really need him, but now he's in my starting lineup still at the flex. I've got 3 solid running backs. Achane still scares me a little bit. Like, yes, he can give me 40 points. He can also get hurt and miss half the season. Henry is also past the 30-year age mark at this point, and there is a world where he goes down, so we're getting another safety net. And if Angus is right, then Kenneth Walker might be a top 10 running back, might be even more valuable than Saquon Barkley. So I don't agree with that take. We made a bet against it, but there is a world where Walker puts up 16 plus fantasy points per game like he did when he was a rookie and had that job all to himself. Let's hope so, Jonathan. Let's hope that was smart. I've made many dumb decisions in the past. Let's hope that one was not one of them. But given the discount in price on Derrick Henry there at 35, I was willing to take him. But holy shit, the team at 2 takes Jake Ferguson. They already have Trey McBride. And the team at 3 forces the issue at tight end, grabs Brock Bowers, a full like 20 picks above ADP. Yes, that is the balance beam you have to walk with Achane. High reward, but definitely still risky. Let's hope he stays healthy. Let's hope so. But I don't think there's that much risk with Richardson. I would love if his price was cheaper. I get it. You do have to pay up on it, but I think there's like no way as long as he doesn't get hurt, I don't think there's a chance he finishes outside the top 7. So to draft him at 5, like it's not that big of a deal, and he could literally finish as number 1. That's genuinely in the range of outcomes. For Richardson, hard to find that with anyone going later. But I'm more comfortable taking Richardson than Achane, generally speaking. Okay, is there any value at receiver that might fall to me? Hollywood Brown, perhaps? We could get the cheapest price on Hollywood. Maybe Kyler. These next 2 teams already have quarterback. I'll probably go Kyler. Snipe the team with Marvin Harrison. They gonna be pissed. Maybe I go Joe Burrow, but maybe not. You can take Kyler unstacked. It's not the end of the world, but this team has Marvin, so there's no way I get Kyler on the way back. What happens here? They go Kyler. All right, so I didn't even get a chance. They sniped that team. So I'll just take Hollywood. Let's hope he gets healthy quickly. The Juju Smith-Schuster edition is not ideal, but in this tournament, Hollywood has never gone cheaper. He was usually going at the top of round 4. Now he falls to the back of round 7. And if Mahomes really does miss him while he's injured right now, then he's going to be ecstatic to have him back. And, you know, there are some big spike week games looming for Hollywood. I just hope he stays healthy. It is risky. But, wow, the team with Jalen Hurts grabs Kyler. Team 12 has to be fucking pissed right now. They go Jaden Daniels. Wow. Maybe I just take Burrow to stack up with T. Higgins. I can gamble that I get Caleb Williams, but it's not guaranteed. Maybe I go Addison, who's also at a cheap price. Yeah, I'm going to go with Addison. Let's do it. Let's take Jordan Addison. I kind of need some receivers. We ignored receiver for a while. Rome is my number 3. Hollywood is my number 4. There's obviously some risk with Addison, but at least I know for a fact Addison will be playing the first 5 games. He's not getting suspended until after his court date, and that gets resolved. His court date is during that week 6 bye. I believe it's scheduled for October 7th, and it's during the team's week 6 bye in LA. So knowing that Hollywood will be missing some games at the beginning, most likely, at least not 100%, that's for sure, we're going to counterbalance that with another guy who's at a discounted price with Addison. And, I mean, I mentioned it's unlikely that Rashee Rice gets suspended, but it is possible. It's more likely that Addison gets suspended, but it's also possible, albeit slim, that he doesn't get suspended this year. There is a slight chance that happens. It's possible. Unlikely, but possible. Jonathan says quarterback is easier to replace, so it's not that bad compared to running back. Just rich at ADP. I wish it was like a round cheaper. I do wish Richardson was a little cheaper, but I'm willing to trust him. I'm just like all in on him. He's very entertaining to watch, and even in games that he didn't finish, like there was one he barely played half the game and he scored 2 rushing touchdowns. That's not going to go away. He's going to give you 10 points per game with his legs. So everything in the passing department is just a bonus. And yeah. I can genuinely envision a scenario where he's QB1 when it's all said and done. But I feel decent about the roster so far. Obviously, it's going to be top heavy with running back, and receiver is a little bit shaky in terms of like all 5 of these guys playing on a week-to-week basis. But I think there's a lot of talent on this roster, plenty of upside. And with the 3 stud running backs, I don't feel like I need to count on receiver like too crazy. But this is probably going to be a 3 tight end build. Njoku, Bowers are already off, so we're a little bit slim in that department. The team before me has Jalen Hurts, so I'll probably get sniped on Goddard as well. Tight end is going to be a little shaky on this team. That's for sure. But if I can get good quarterbacks here, I'd be ecstatic if Burrow continues to fall. At the moment, it's pick 100. Burrow is still there. The team with Jamar is at 6 and has Lamar Jackson already. So they need running back. I think they might pass on him. And if he makes it to 103, all these teams already have quarterbacks. There's a world where Burrow makes it to me at 107. It is possible, and as I say that, he comes off the board at 100, of course. It was unlikely, but I probably just jinxed myself. That's likely what happened, but I don't blame him. Taking Burrow unstacked at pick 100 is still fine. They didn't have quarterback, so it makes sense. But Javonte, 101. Tony Pollard, 102. I want to see a sea of green here. I want the running backs to come off the board. And Swift is falling. Is there some news about Swift? Nope, just people don't like him. Swift at 104. Good value there. 16 picks. This team has Jaden Daniels, only 3 receivers. Do I gamble that I can get Caleb coming back around? That is the question. Do I gamble with Caleb? If Shakir was there, I'd definitely consider Shakir with the Curtis Samuel turf toe injury, but I don't need running back. That's not a priority. I'm going to play it safe. I'm just going to grab Caleb and stack him up with Rome. Let's just secure the quarterback value. Because if I take Caleb here, if I take another one soon, I can justify only 2 quarterbacks. And I know I'm probably going to need 3 tight ends on this team. So let's gamble. I guess no, I'm not gambling. I'm playing it close to the vest. I'm keeping it safe. But not going to regret that at all. If this team were to snipe me, I'd be fucking pissed to miss out on Caleb. Stacked up with Rome feels like a good plan. But Alongovic, who you gonna take? Goes with Judy at 108. Big reach on Jerry Judy. Glad I have Addison, because this is gross. But I think I have to take Goddard here. A big tier break at the position once he's off the board, and he's not as safe without with Jahan Dotson in there, but I don't need running back at all given who I have. I'm just going to take Goddard. I need tight end. So running back was probably the better value, but for the sake of what this roster needs, we'll go with Goddard. Hard to replicate what Goddard offers moving forward. Let's hope Kellen Moore gets him involved. Jonathan asking, is the point in these drafts to have unique rosters? It's not legal in Washington State. Sort of. So in Best Ball Mania, the tournament really slims out as you advance into the playoff weeks, and you have to finish top 2 just to get to the playoffs. Then you have to finish first out of 13 teams to make it past week 15. And then in week 16, you have to finish first out of 16. So as the weeks go on, the teams that have the right players are usually the ones that advance. And there's a lot of overlap as you get closer to week 17. The teams with, the high scoring players are the ones that make it out of there. And having a slight nuance in difference does play a factor. So with such a wide range of entries, there are so many teams in the tournament to begin with, you need a little edge to differentiate yourself. And that's why I think stacking is so critical in Best Ball Mania. If you have the correlating pieces, like if Rome goes off, you know for a fact that Caleb is going off. It just has to work that way. The receiver correlates with the quarterback. So that's what makes it so critical. But then another layer is like, you need to be beating other people that usually have the same players as you get to the weeks where money is actually at stake. Like if we don't finish top 2 in this 12-team league, then we don't get any money. But after that, having that minute difference that makes you a little bit more different than the rest of the field is really critical. And yeah, that's why being more unique does help out. That's why I took Achane there at pick 14, because Achane normally goes to like the teams in the top 3 or 5. He normally goes between picks 20 and 29. So it's a lot less rare that a team gets Achane to fall to them at 35. It almost never happens. And there are a lot less people that take him at 14. So while the Achane Derrick Henry combo might not be that unique, it does happen on the other side of the board, and they normally don't have Puka. So if Achane and Henry are the guys you need, and Puka is also a guy you need, it's less likely that they are on the same roster. It's gonna happen. I'm not gonna be the only one with that combo, but it's at least a certain amount of points lower when you play the percentage game in this tournament. So yeah, that's maybe a long-winded way of saying yes, being unique is a bit more important. You obviously want the best roster possible. It's like, oh wow, you got really unique with terrible picks. It doesn't fucking matter. But if you have really good players and they all are at like a big value, then you have a better shot to advance than if that isn't the case. So yeah, that's part of the strategy in this tournament. But $25 at stake. If I finish first, I could take home 1.5 mil. I don't even need first. I'm happy with anything in the top 20. I'll get 100 grand if I finish 20th. I'll be ecstatic with that. But where do we go here? Does that team have Laporta? No, they got Kyle Pitts. They got Jahmyr Gibbs, though. So if I want Goff, I would have to take him, but I don't have anyone that stacks up with Goff, so not great. Lockett almost falls. And given how strong I am at running back, I can afford a Nick Chubb selection here. It is risky, that's for sure, but the payouts are all at the end of the season, and that's when Chubb would have value. It's a big swing. Could definitely miss, but fuck it. Let's go with Nick Chubb. Let's do it. This is where I'm comfortable taking him. I don't like to take him in these non-tournament settings. I'm probably not going to be drafting Nick Chubb in a typical redraft format, but if he can return to glory after that week 10 bye, then we might be able to sneak him in weeks 15, 16, 17, and he would have a potential 25-point spike week when we need it most. Let's go Nick Chubb. Some Tuesday evening Chubb on the live stream. Let's hope that Sunday morning Chubb in December comes through for me. But this didn't play out how I expected it to. I thought running backs would have been like so highly coveted. More so, it was the other way around. It was like receivers are like brutal here. But I think I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson. Tempting to go with Goff or Herbert, but I'm going to say fuck it. Have no stacks available with Goff and Herbert. And if I leave them on the board, it's slightly more possible that Stafford falls back around. I would be reaching on Stafford here. And I have Jordan Addison. It sets me up for a Sam Darnold selection later on. So looks like I'm going to be targeting the Viking stack. And Hawkinson's going to miss the beginning of the year. That's going to help out Addison before he gets suspended. Meanwhile, if he does get suspended, it might be when TJ Hawkinson comes back. So high upside with Hawkinson. Could miss over half the season, though. Could never look the same, at least this year. And obviously, Darnold could make them pretty shitty, but I'm gonna bet on Kevin O'Connell, and we need those stacking, correlating pieces. I don't feel ecstatic about just having Goddard, so give me Hawkinson. Very talented player. Only getting him this cheap because of the injury. Let's hope for the best. But yeah, receiver did not let up. I was really hoping I got a good value at receiver, and technically, that just never happened. Not technically, it literally like never happened. Anyways, if I get Stafford at 155, I'll be really happy to pair him up with Puka. Might not happen. Jalen Wright goes 139 to a team that punted running back and has taken 5 straight. That team goes Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, Zach Moss, Blake Corum, Jalen Wright. They are swinging for the fence, and we'll see how that works out for him. But yeah, team 6 in the doghouse a little bit at running back. Risky room. I like the value on Zach Moss there at 115, but if Kyrie never gets hurt, then Corum is a bit of a dud. If Achane and Mostert stay healthy, then Wright doesn't give you shit. And Pollard, I'm not a big fan of. Warren, already kind of banged up, so a little risky there. But I feel really good about my running back room. We got Achane, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, and we afford the luxury pick of Nick Chubb. Normally, you see me take Jerome Ford all the time, but here in Best Ball Mania, I'm willing to go with the Chubb. Sprinkled in. But how's quarterback looking? We got Cousins and Stafford still on the board. We need Stafford to fall. 8 picks. Ooh, that team and Brig, team 5, has Cooper Kupp. I don't think it's going to happen. They don't have a quarterback yet. Yeah, I'm going to be fucked. At least I have Caleb Williams. But this next pick, not this one, but the one right after, I'll bet you like $10 Stafford comes off to the team with Kupp. I'd be pretty shocked if he does not go right here. Trying to speak it into existence that it doesn't happen, but he's letting the clock run down. He's actually thinking about it. We got a shot here. Wow, Jaleel McLaughlin. Let's go. Okay. I would have lost that $10 bet. Glad none of you took me up on it. Okay. Yeah. A lot of these teams have 2 quarterbacks already. So it's just a question of if the Lamar or Richardson team passes. If Stafford makes it past these next 2 picks, then I think he makes it to me in 155. I'll be really happy if that happens. But Humanity Unbound asking, oh, are you fucking serious? Why does he go at 150? God damn it. Fuck. I'll get to your question, man, in just a second. Just let me sit with that brutal snipe. Fuck, man. That was rough. Not in love with these picks here. We could go Cousins at a slight value, but I have no one to stack up with him. I'm just going to take Josh Downs at a value. He used to be going in the middle of round 11. And now he falls 10 picks already, but to me at 155, one of the better receiver options at this point. But I would have bet money that this team would have taken Kirk Cousins. They have Kyle Pitts, but they did reach on Jerry Jeudy to pair with Amari Cooper. Okay, so yeah, that does make a little bit of sense. Kind of checks out. Do I go with Cousins here at a 14 pick value? It's unstacked. It's really not like the move, but everybody else kind of sucks in this range. Like, I don't want Leggett that much. I don't want Pearsall very much. Very few players I actually want. The team after me does not have London. Somebody has London. Yeah, I'm just going to take Cousins. Kind of a bad pick, but there's high upside with him. He was top 6 last year, and I'm getting him at a big discount. Pick 158 when he normally goes 143. So fuck it. Yeah, we'll just go with Cousins. But back to your question, Humanity. Thoughts on Pollard? I mentioned this earlier in the stream, so kind of a rehash of what I said previously. I don't want really either Titans running back this year. I wish one of them wasn't there, so we'd have a lot more clarity on the volume to expect in Tennessee, but I don't expect a lot of touchdown production. Both of them catch passes, so it's truly like a hot hand approach. The coaching staff has mentioned like they view both of them as the RB1 interchangeably. So one week they might be good, the next week they might be ass. And because the offense is shit, the O-line isn't very good. I don't want either Titans running back. I prefer Tyjae Spears because he goes at a cheaper price. So I'm extremely underweight on Pollard this season. I've barely drafted him at all. I am low on Pollard. I do not recommend taking him. He's not a guy I want this year. But Humanity also asking, you see value in Chubb. Ford should have a killer season with no competition. In this tournament, I see more value in Nick Chubb because all of the money in this tournament is focused at the end of the season. And if Chubb does put up good points, it's at the end of the year after the week 10 bye. So while he could obviously look like shit, he could give me like nothing. If he does work out, he could also be a top 10 play. We've seen that talent from him in the past. I wouldn't bet on it with like a guarantee. But if you look at the roster I built, I'm not counting on him at all. He's just the icing on the cake. He's a luxury pick with a hope that it works out. I already have A-Chain. I have Derrick Henry. I have Kenneth Walker. This running back 4 is not someone that I'm counting on to contribute to my roster a lot. So I am ecstatic about Ford. I've taken him more than any other running back this season, and he's literally like my second most drafted player. I have him as a top 30 running back. He's going closer to RB like 35, RB 40 some places. So I definitely recommend Ford, especially in redraft. You're going to get a lot of production early on at a discount. I mean, he's not like a top 20 running back. Don't get me wrong. But a good offense with a decent offensive line historically runs the ball a lot, and he will offer some decent flex value to start off. He can help you start off like 5-1, 4-1, and give you some comfort to plan for the playoff picture. So I definitely prefer Ford. I'm far more in the camp of Jerome Ford than Nick Chubb, but specifically in this tournament where I need any edge I can get late in the season, this is where I'm comfortable taking a swing on Nick Chubb. Typically, though, I don't like to take him. Normally, I'm not drafting Nick Chubb. But I know exactly where I'm going with my next pick. Maybe I shouldn't queue him up just on the slight chance there's someone watching the stream. I really doubt it. There's only 13 people watching it. It would baffle me if one of these 11 other people was also watching the stream, but you never know. I just don't want to jinx myself again with that Stafford situation. That was so sad when I had to take Cousins instead of Stafford. That was so rough, man. But would have liked to send it there. Conklin goes. I was considering Conklin, but um, this team has Jaden Daniels, Deshaun Watson, and there's a couple receivers I'd be fine with. I'm just gonna go with Darnold. Just lock up this stack. I'm so committed to it, and yeah, I'd be so fucking pissed if I got sniped again. While it's not as unique as I wish it was, um, there have been a lot more teams taking Darnold as of late. There's still a lot fewer teams that have drafted Darnold over the course of this tournament. This tournament has been running since the beginning of May, and only until 2 weeks ago has Darnold started to be drafted in every one of these leagues. So at this point, it's just a matter of taking him. I have TJ Hawkinson, I have Jordan Addison, so it's pretty critical for this roster that I have him. And I get the guy I wanted anyways. I get Andre Yoshivas to pair up with T. Higgins. So if Jamar Chase does not perform well, or if Yoshivas just outperforms Jermaine Burton, I've got some good correlating pieces here. I will take Yoshi as my 7th receiver. I like Yoshivas. I'm on board with Yoshivas. And we have 2 more rounds left. We need 1 more running back. Not someone that we need to count on too much, but we'll hope for the best with that running back. And then I'll probably take an 8th receiver. I think I'm just going to settle on Goddard and TJ Hawkinson. Kind of risky, but if I really wanted to, I could maybe pass on that 5th running back. That'd be pretty fragile, though. What do you guys think? Should I grab a 3rd tight end or 5th running back? Because I know I'm taking an 8th receiver. That's pretty much forced into the equation. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Let's show you the board. Yeah, there we go. Would I take a gamble on Taysom Hill? Only if I can play him at tight end. If he is a quarterback in your scoring settings, then no. I have no interest in Taysom Hill as a quarterback. If you can play him at tight end, he's actually a very good pick going late. Reports indicate he might be used a lot all over the field this season. So if he's a quarterback, nope. I don't want him because he might have like 1 or 2 games where he goes over 15 points, but otherwise he's not going to go over like 10 very often. And at tight end, that's not bad. At quarterback, that's atrocious. At quarterback, that's terrible. So only if you can start him at tight end. And here on Underdog, that's not the case. They put him back under the realm of QB this season. So it's not possible to do that on Underdog. I do not recommend it. If it's a super flex format, then occasionally I'll take him on Underdog as like my 4th quarterback, because then you can start up to 2 and he does kind of mix in that flex spot. But that's the only scenario I'm ever considering Taysom Hill. Here on Underdog in a super flex draft or when he's a tight end. But after I take Yoshi, we see Ricky Pearsall, who's really fallen down. Pearsall used to be going in like the late 130s, like mid round 12. Pearsall goes round 16 here. Wow. But Pearsall, Marvin Mims, Tank Bigsby, Jonnu Smith, Jordan Whittington, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Naylor, Juwan Johnson, Luke McCaffrey, Colby Parkinson, Will Levis, Roman Wilson, and Derek Carr. So at least I'm in good shape at quarterback. Like, I've got Darnold double stacked. I've got Caleb stacked up. While Kirk Cousins is not stacked, and that's definitely something you'd rather have, he offers me a very consistent floor at the position. At least I'm going to get points no matter what every week with Cousins. And I did get him 15 picks past ADP, so not bad value on an unstacked Cousins. But again, I asked y'all if you think I should take a third tight end or fifth running back, and no one's answering me, so it's just up to me. Dev saying Odell on IR, Jonnu is such a smash. I'm more interested in Malik Washington. I'm a little more interested in Malik Washington. The tight end for Mike McDaniel still scares me, man. It's just not something he uses, historically speaking. But I think I'll take a swing on Estime. I think I'm going to go with the fifth running back. And then at receiver, you know what? Maybe we go Malik Washington. Dev says third tight end. You don't trust Dallas Goedert and TJ Hockenson? This is a tough spot here, man. Hard to say exactly where I should be going. I think I'm going to put Malik Washington at the top of the queue. That way I can think about this tight end running back argument a little bit more. Gonna go with my eighth receiver, Malik Washington. Let's gamble there. But Doc79 saying Gerald Everett. I could maybe consider that. More unique. Maybe Komet goes down, but it's risky, bro. It's fucking risky. Maybe Dawson Knox. Tight ends are brutal here, man. It's not as safe as it once felt. Four running backs is so risky. It's too fragile. If my fourth wasn't Nick Chubb, I think I would take that third tight end, but I'm going to go with Estime. There's a world where Estime scores a lot of touchdowns. Not going to catch many passes, but if I didn't have Nick Chubb, I think I'd probably go with the third tight end. Like, if the fourth running back was Brian Robinson or Zach Moss, if I took them instead of Goddard, then I'd probably be willing to do it. But let's just gamble that TJ Hockenson like comes back week 7 and works out. I'm getting a 0 in week 5 though. Goddard's on bye. Hockenson will not be on the field at that point. Hawkinson's missing at least 4 games, but I can't imagine they have him travel to London for that week 5 matchup against the Jets. So I'm just going to accept the 0 early on in the season. Take my medicine. And this is the roster. We go Puka, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, T. Higgins, Kenneth Walker, Rome Odunze, Hollywood Brown, Jordan Addison, Caleb Williams, Dallas Goedert, Nick Chubb, TJ Hockenson, Josh Downs, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Andre Yoshivas, Malik Washington, Audric Estime. That is the team. That's the roster. I'll show it to you in the list format one more time. But I expect... Oh, wow. Fields goes undrafted in this. That's kind of interesting. But, yeah, Caleb stacked up with Rome. Cousins unstacked. Darnold double stacked. The running back room is really nice. Really nice running backs here. Top heavy, but not bad. Receiver, I think I really needed that 8th guy to feel good about it. I'm glad I went Malik Washington there instead of a tight end. We'll just accept the 0 in week 5 when Goddard's on bye. And pray that Hockenson delivers. That's what I need. Let's hope it works out for me. Wish me luck, y'all. But hope y'all enjoyed. It's been fun. It's a little bit late. It's now 9:30. and we've been on the stream for an hour, and posted a fun video today with my best friend. He pushed back on some takes and may have influenced a few of these decisions, a couple of them early on with Devon Achane and Kenneth Walker, but I think this team turned out well. Anyways, check that out if you're interested. Check out some other videos on my channel. Subscribe, hit that like button, and you guys know what to do. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Enjoy your evening. Peace out. Good night.